guys, Kat at Kat Reviews Books here, back with another video. Today I thought we would talk about a couple of the books that I have finished since my last posting, talk about what I'm currently reading, and I have a couple of other things that I want to mention that we're going to start this video with before I get to the books. First thing I want to mention is I did just become a bookshop affiliate, so if anyone is interested in supporting me in any shape or form outside of videos, obviously you can go to my links that are going to be in all of my bios. I will be linking them to my videos. Basically, I'm just going to be making curated lists on bookshop.org. We're going to do things like all of the books that are featured on my YouTube page, anything that I mentioned on TikTok, anything that I've mentioned on Instagram, those will be all their own individual lists. That way they're easy to find. Of course, all of my links from my previous videos will get changed over time, so those will also be linked to my page now. So if anyone would like to support me financially, since it's an affiliate situation, I would really appreciate it. There's no obligation, of course. Anything that gets sent that way will be used towards making these videos better. I'm hoping to invest in a camera instead of my phone after a while. Maybe a microphone, because I know that sometimes my mic quality isn't the best. I also know sometimes it's just how high or low I'm talking, so we will see how that goes. And of course, I've been mentioning it at the end of my videos, but I'm going to mention it at the beginning of my video this time. I do have a Discord group where if anyone wants to interact with me, that would be the place to do it. I've got a couple people in there now. We kind of casually chit-chat about things, different threads like showing off your pets or showing off what you're reading or cooking or whatever the case may be. I would also love if anybody has any ideas for like curated lists they want to see for me. For example, if you want to see Kat's favorite sci-fi books as a list on bookshop.org or things like that, you could comment here, you could comment on the Discord server, you could even email me if you don't feel like doing either of those. Wherever you want to reach out, I would love to hear people's thoughts. Very excited for this. Let's get into the books, because obviously that's what you guys are here for, is the books and not me just yapping about things. So since my last video, I have managed to finish Lore from Alexandra Bracken. This one did take me quite a while to get through. I think it took me maybe about 3 weeks to read in total. Normally a book this big wouldn't take me that long, maybe a week and a half max. But I was really struggling with this one. It didn't end up being a 3.5 star read for me. I had a lot of issues with it, and I kind of wish I had DNF'd it, but I'm not horribly upset that I finished it either. I just feel like my time could have been spent better elsewhere. My main issue with this is that basically every 7 years there's something that occurs for the gods. It's called the Agon, or maybe it's pronounced Agon, but I'm thinking it's the Agon. If anyone knows the proper pronunciation, please let me know. Anyways, every 7 years or so, gods basically become mortal and they have the opportunity to kill each other, etc., etc. I, first off, don't feel like I like that concept very much, and if I had realized that that's what this book was about, I probably wouldn't have picked it up. Because what do you mean gods are able to become mortal and die? It doesn't make very much sense to me. The ending for this book was also lackluster. It just felt like they kind of gave up at the end, and I was like, this is almost 500 pages. Like, what do you mean that's how it ends? I didn't like the cast very much either. The main character was just kind of frustrating. I will say it took about 75% into the book for it to actually get good. The last 25% of this book is really where it's at. That's where I actually was like, hey, I'm actually invested now. I'm gonna keep picking this up and I'm gonna read it and I'm gonna finish it. So I think I read the last 25% in one sitting, whereas the 75% before that took me about 2.5 weeks to get to. 2 3/4, whatever. It basically took 2 out of the 3 weeks for me to read 75%. So, just saying, if you like mythology in any shape or form, you could give this a try. If you want an ultimate slow burn, you could give this a try. If you like YA, sure. This one doesn't necessarily read as YA. It reads like it tries to be YA, but it also tries to be regular fantasy. It's kind of that middle ground where you can't really tell from the way it's written which section is supposed to be in regular fantasy or young adult fantasy. So, would I recommend this to somebody personally? Probably not. Would I read it again? Definitely not. Will I be keeping this book? Nope, this is gonna go and get sold so that I can get a little bit of money back. But doesn't mean that somebody else won't like it. Doesn't mean you won't like it. So if you want to try it, I say go for it. Now, of course, moving on to the second book. I just finished this literally this morning. It was so good. It's my new favorite book of the year. And of course, that is Project Hail Mary from Andy Weir. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I wasn't expecting to love this as much as I did. I was thinking, yeah, it's gonna be pretty good. It's not gonna be the most amazing thing in the world. But honestly, I really loved this. Andy Weir has this great way of going about this book, making it very amusing from the start, making it very much one of those books where you're like, oh, I finished this chapter. I could stop here. No, you can't stop there. You have to go, what do you mean this just happened? I have to read the next chapter. He has basically mini cliffhangers at the end of every chapter. It's almost impossible to want to put this book down. So I think I read this in about 4 days times. I think I started this maybe Sunday or Monday night, and it is now Saturday morning. I have officially finished it. I was reading it at work more than anything, and of course, I was working long hours this week, so I didn't have as much time to read at home as I wanted to. But this book was phenomenal. I loved everything about it. I got very emotionally invested in the characters. I couldn't put it down. I didn't want to put it down. All of my coworkers, you can just ask them. I was talking about this book basically all week. I actually was reading it kind of, not necessarily with one of my coworkers, but she was reading it at the same time as me, and she was a couple chapters ahead. So whenever I would finish reading on my break, I would go find her and I'd be like, hey, okay, so this is where I'm at. And she'd be like, okay, let's yap about this for a second. I love this book. Like I said, my current favorite book of the year beat out all the other ones that I have read so far this year. Sorry, Carnival, Fantastico, sorry, Book of Doors. But it's gonna be tough to beat. I'm very excited for the movie. If it doesn't end up being good, I will probably fist fight everybody involved with the making of it, because this book needs to be done justice, okay? If the movie does not do this book justice, there will be a riot. It'll be a single woman riot, but it'll be a riot nonetheless, okay? Now, of course, not every book is perfect, and I do have to point out that I did think that the ending was a little bit, I don't want to say lackluster because that's not the word, but the ending wasn't what I was expecting it to be. It was kind of more like one of those endings where you're like, well, that's not how I would have done the ending or what I expected of the ending, but I'm not entirely disappointed by it. So, regardless, 5 out of 5 stars for me. I would recommend this to anybody who likes sci-fi. I would recommend this to anybody who likes science, because they did a lot of sciencey things in this book. I'm talking, he breaks it down, okay? It's phenomenal. I love that about it. I would like to recommend this to anybody who wants a laugh, because it is very amusing watching him wake up having no idea how the heck he got onto this spaceship or what the heck is happening, and just slowly regaining his memories and figuring out who he is. I don't think there's anybody I wouldn't recommend this to. Even if you don't like science or sci-fi, I would say you should give this a try. I will be talking about it probably the rest of the year, and if they ever do a special edition of it, you can best believe I will be signing myself up to get a copy of that version. Last but not certainly least, let's talk about the book that I'm now currently reading. Of course, I finished Project Hail Mary first thing this morning, but then immediately I decided to start my next book, because I have about, I've got Dungeon Crawler Carl, and Hell's Heart, and Virgin of Death, and My Husband's Wife. So I've got four other books outside of this one that I'm currently reading that need to be read before the end of March for my brain to be satisfied, okay? But I started this already. I am currently getting ready to start chapter 8, so I'm 76 pages into it. I don't honestly know what I was expecting, but this book grabs you immediately at the beginning, okay? It immediately is going to transport you into this world. It's immediately going to be chaotic and funny, and oh my gosh, like I'm invested. I want to go ahead and finish reading this book. I don't think this book is going to take me long at all. I'm gonna say maybe it'll take me a little less time than Project Hail Mary, but that is because I'm starting it on a day off, and tomorrow I work a short shift. So 378 pages between those 2 days, probably not gonna take me long at all. So we will see how I like it. I am predicting this is gonna be probably between 4.5 to 5 stars, maybe 4 stars. We'll see how it goes as it progresses, but if it stays the way it is with the pacing and the characters and everything, it's gonna end up being 4.5 stars. I almost guarantee it. But if you want a queer fantasy that's also immediately chaotic, this one's gonna be the one for you. I'm gonna, of course, be back to tell you more about it. I'm not gonna spoil too much, but phenomenal so far. If I had to give it a rating where I'm currently at, I'd say it's gonna get 4.5 stars. But let's wait and see what the rest of the 300 pages say, huh? So that was just a short little review video for you guys, and of course talking about a couple of things that we mentioned at the beginning of the video. One other thing I want to ask before I leave this video for you guys today is if everybody could tell me in the comments what kind of background they've been liking on the videos since I moved into my new place. I've only uploaded, of course, 2 other videos, but I'm just having a hard time deciding. I don't like this because my lamp is here, but it's better than over in that other area because it's a little bit hard to get light over there. It's just a whole shebang, and I just kind of want to know what your guys' thoughts are. I'm interested to know. If you have a preference, let me know. If you think wherever works, you don't care about the background, you just want to hear me yap. Okay, cool. Whatever you guys think, I would love to know down below. At the end of the day, all I want to say though is thank you for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and you know, take care of yourself, relax, maybe have some water if you haven't hydrated. I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.